What is up, guys and gals, gamers, YouTubers, and all you roughnecks out there? It is your boy Dale Rico, and it is Tuesday, which means we are doing a Tactical Tuesday video. And with Tactical Tuesday, we always talk about our tactics, whether they be about the gameplay themselves or in life in general. And today, as I promised in my previous video, I have a pretty kind of a serious topic to talk about. It has to do with relationships, and more specifically, the ending of a relationship and the tactic and going about how to kind of cope with the breakup of and the aftermath that goes along with it. Neil Sedaka, he sang it best when, or the Carpenters, if you listen to them, that breaking up is hard to do, and whether you're the victim of the breakup or the initiator of it, it's not an easy thing. For the initiator and the person that doesn't want to be in the relationship anymore, they battle with the decisions. Can I stick with it? Is it worth the hardships? How strongly do I feel for this person? Can we get through this? Can I get through this? How am I going to break the news to him or her? And but the point of view that I really want to talk to, mostly because a very close personal friend of mine is going through a little bit of a situation right now, and I'm not going to say, I'm not going to mention any names or anything, but I hope that they're listening, and hopefully it brings them a little bit of comfort out there. So for the victims, this is for you. When it comes to the breakup, when the end comes, unfortunately, that's it. It's over. And whether it was something that you said or did, something about your personality that they just didn't connect with, or maybe it was something even about the other person. Maybe they found out something about themselves that they just weren't ready to be in that relationship. It happens all the time. But whatever the case may be, there's no changing it. And that's what you kind of have to cope with. And I know we hope for changes, we pray for some kind of miracle that something will come along and turn everything back around to the way it was. Because when you were together, nothing else mattered. You felt at ease, instead of being in this very surreal, depressed state of mind. But it's not. I'm not even saying it's an easy thing, but for the next few months, especially the first few months after a breakup, you just kind of have to suck it up and pile the grief upon itself, because that's just what you got to do. Unfortunately, that's the first tactic. It's just kind of accepting it. The second tactic: don't let your relationship define the person that you are. Before you became involved with the person, you had a goal in mind. You had a educational goal, you had a career goal, you had a life goal, whatever it was, you had something going on for yourself. You have friends, or you may have had friends, depending on how that relationship went. I know me personally, in my worst breakup, I had friends. And it seemed like once it was over, people chose sides, and I lost a lot of friends along the way, but that's my story. Anyway, you have friends. Despite how many times you may have deserted them, a true friend will never give up on you, and they will still be there for you. And this is the time that you really, really need to reach out and try to regain that lost friendship that maybe you lost or kind of put off on the back burner while you were in the relationship. And there will be moments of weakness. There will always be moments of weakness when you want to just pick up the phone just to hear their voice and see how things are going, but you got to be strong. Be stronger than that. If you think about calling him, call a friend or a relative instead. Let them know how you're feeling. Keep this. It's kind of like because love is a game, and in order to ensure that we kind of survive this game, you have to keep the ball in your court. And by calling them and by giving in to those, it's basically just pent up emotion. By giving into that emotion, you're passing off that ball to your ex, and that will give them the upper hand in most cases that I've dealt with. It gives them the upper hand of this whole kind of possession. There you go. And a lot of them use that possession to their advantage. Darth Vader says it to Luke all the time: your thoughts betray you. And that's what your emotions and thoughts can do to you as well. They give up your control over the situation, and giving in to talking or seeing or calling your ex will give them to use what's called a yo-yo effect. They just keep reeling you in and pulling and letting you go, reeling in, letting go. But in any event, the the next tactics is be truthful, be honest about your emotions. A lot of people begin living in a lie that they create themselves, that they create within themselves. A lot of variables come into this statistic. It boils down to how long you've been to the relationship, how long you've known them, and how strong of a person you are. And the one thing that is certain, and it doesn't matter what kind of person you are, if you've been in a relationship for 6 months or more, you'll not get over it anytime soon. Those of us, I speak for myself in particular. We are very passionate people, and that passion can carry over even if we've only been together for maybe 3 months. But in the in those events, it won't take days, it won't take weeks, it'll take months. In some cases, it'll take years. There's another friend of mine who was in a relationship for about 7 years, thought they were going to get married, it broke off, and to this day, I think the ex married somebody else, and they just cannot help themselves but to see the profile pictures of their kids and their wedding, and it's like, that should have been me, like, did I give up too soon, and kind of doubt themselves. But in any event, it'll take a while, it'll take months, and you just kind of accept that notion that it's going to take a while, that it's going to take time to heal. Deal with it, do whatever you have to do, but do not lie to yourself about being over it. People say, I'm over it all the time, and we know you're not. Your friends know you're not. Your family will know that you're not. And lying, it only prevents the truth from eventually biting you in the ass later. So before going through with announcing that you're in fact over your heartache, be sure that you're truly over it. And then and only then will you be able to resume communication and try the task of becoming friends. If somewhere within you there's a shadow of hope that you could turn to the friendship of being something more. I'm sorry. If somewhere within you there's a shadow of hope that could turn the friendship into becoming something more, walk away. And you hear it all the time. I don't know what it is, but it's always with the women. The women always say, oh, we can still be friends, can't we? No, you really can't. That's the. Am I on the third or the fourth task? I don't even know. But that is the third or fourth thing. There's no going back to friendship. And even if you're healthy enough to resume a friendship and you feel yourself yearning once again, it's time to walk away. Because all you're going to be doing is setting yourself up for more heartache. Because when it comes to that kind of mindset where you feel yourself wanting more, you're gonna get to that point where you think there's gonna be a bigger vibe from him or her, and it'll trick you into thinking that something can start up between the two of you, and you can't encourage that. Again, don't lie to yourself. Come into and accept that reality, and just kind of go from there. You have to, and you can't see me, but I'm quoting the word friendship, and it's because you can't be friends with the person that you have, and it's mostly to do with that tension that goes in between both of you. When you reach a certain plateau of emotion, there's no going back.
Wow.
You've been. I'm trying to think of a way to kind of relate it. I want to say it's like a roller coaster, but it's so much bigger than a roller coaster. Emotions are just a lot heavier. They weigh a lot more, and they stick with you than just the excitement of a roller coaster. So, it's hard to say, because the more intimate you become and know a person, the stronger you feel for somebody, and the longer it'll be for you to face them again, or to get those kind of memories out of your head before you're able and willing to want to talk and maybe build some kind of communication grounds with them at all. So don't make it a point to stick around the conversation again. Call your friends, call your relatives, call anybody else. Make sure you're not calling your ex. Stick to your guns. It's maddening. I know it is to sit there and see your caller ID, and if they call you, you see their name pop up on your phone, and it sucks. It sucks to just sit there and just be like, no, I'm not gonna pick this up. But don't do it. One of my favorite quotes is, everything comes together in the end, and if it hasn't come together, then it's not the end, and you got to keep that in mind. This is not the end, especially for those that are in high school or still in college, or early mid-20s. this is not the end for you. I am 30 years old. I still have plenty of time within my life to find somebody that I might want to marry. I still have, um, you know, your priorities and aspects of who you want to marry and who you want to date change as you get older. But the fact of the matter is, there is still plenty of time for everything. So don't get too discouraged if you feel it's 6 months later and you're not over it. It happens. You know, if you're a passionate person, it's gonna take time. So accept it. And when getting back in the mix,
that movie.
now when you're starting over, this is not just it's not just another chance to find the right person. This is a chance to kind of redefine yourself. Because you're not the same person you were before when you were with the other, your boyfriend or girlfriend. Use the knowledge that you gained from each previous relationship to your advantage. You deserve the best, and the best person for you is waiting out there. Don't settle for anything less. Keep your wits about you. You know what you're looking for and what you want in a man or woman. Obviously, the last one didn't have all those qualities, so, approaching someone with the same characteristics is already on your kind of liability radar. But don't worry about rushing back into the scene. It's difficult enough to play the game without emotions that you'll be carrying this first time around. So, take things one step at a time. Be sure your first night on the scene is maybe with a group of friends, to have at least 3 or 4, just whatever comfortable group that you have, and just kind of keep it casual. You see, as you get more and more comfortable with a person, maybe you get less and less, but don't ever give in to peer pressure. That was something that I did. In high school, I was very awkward, very shy, and people were pressuring me to get together with this one particular girl. I didn't feel that way for her. I had my kind of reservations about relationship. I mean, I was a freshman in college. I was a freshman in high school, and it just wasn't me to be as aggressive as people wanted me to be. So, I just kind of hung back and I did my funny stuff, made people laugh, made people feel good. I didn't care if they liked me on a romantic level or not. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm getting off subject, but they pressured me. They wanted me to go out with this girl. They said it would be perfect, that she likes me already, and blah blah blah. So it was pretty much my game to lose if I want to keep on this love as a game thing. So all I had to do was ask, and it was a done deal. But and it wasn't the lack of challenge; it was just I wasn't interested, period. Nothing to do with her. She's an awesome, I'm still friends with her to this day. She's an awesome friend. She's an awesome person. Definitely had a great time getting to know her throughout high school. But as far as a romantic, it just didn't work out that way. But in any event, it was Christmas. We had this gift wrapping booth to be able to make money for our high school band and drumline and everything. And we're sitting, let me think, it was pretty much the end of the shift, and the whole day, for like the whole week, every day of each week, they would tell me, you gotta ask her out, you gotta go be with her, you guys would be so great, and blah blah blah. And this one particular day, me and my friend was giving me a ride home, and so we're walking out, and just as we're about to walk out the door, the girl that they want me to be with comes with her friends, and they're kind of just like looking at me like, oh, is he gonna do it right now or not? And everybody's just I'm waiting to say goodbye. Everybody's just standing there waiting for me to say something along the lines of getting into a relationship. And a friend of mine, he looks at me, he goes, dude, do you want me to slap you and make and get your shit together or whatever? I was like, yes, I wish you would. And he smacks the hell out of me, really shakes me up, but I did it, and again, I got to know a really great person. She's a great friend, but again, the point was, don't let peer pressure get to you in doing something that you don't want to do. In any event, I'm sorry, I'm going out of time. I hope these tips helped you a bit, get to know about these little tactics, and if you should go through the aftermath such as this. In any event, leave a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you're new to my channel, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.
you like to know more?
Breaking up is hard to do. Don't take your